round 11, I have the results. So we had the Highlanders going down 28-52 to the Chiefs. We had the Drua beating the Hurricanes 27-24 in an epic in Fiji. We had the Crusaders spanking the Force 48-13. The Blues escaping 31-30 against Moana Pacifica. The Tars getting it done in Townsville 24-32 against the Reds. And the Rebels not quite having enough to get it over the Brumbies in a cracker 26-33 on the Sunday.
Can I put it out there? This was one of the funnest rounds of Super Rugby I can remember. Like, I watched so many of these games. That Fiji game, holy shit. There is no other team in world sport like Fiji and Drua. Not just rugby, no other team in world sport that comes close to this small, passionate, just really, really good footy player based team. Like, they just pull people from anywhere and they're just brilliant. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, even let's just kind of continuing on that from Nels, just there's nothing like it in rugby. They're singing after the game as well in a huddle, and I just absolutely froth on that sort of stuff. So you don't see that in football. I'll tell you that right now.
No, yeah, it's brilliant to watch, boys. Can't wait to see more of it as well. This fast-paced footy as well has just been so good. And I think the biggest thing is the derbies, the Aussie derbies and the Kiwi derbies, just add another layer of interest as well, right?
Yeah, honestly, the Aussie derbies here, like that Rebels Brumbies match was a cracker. One of the best footy matches I've seen in some time as well, because it went to the wire. You know, we had head-to-head battles for players fighting for Wallabies jerseys. We'll touch on that a little bit more, but there was a lot of passion in this game, and it was disappointing that yet again no one turns up in Melbourne to watch what was a cracking game.
Yeah, I don't know what they've got to do there to get some resonate with the fans more, but I'd suggest they got to start winning a bit more.
Yeah, I was going to say, you need a win.
Sitting in the top
is the best
top 10 helps. Yeah, that does. Yeah. They probably are in the top 10. Actually, I've probably been a bit harsh there. Do you think, mate? What was the takeaways for the main matchups?
Yeah, mate, have we got Nelson here as well?
Yeah, he'll come back in. Don't worry about
it. Yeah, okay, righto. The main talking points from the round. I think we kind of covered most of these, but it was good to see the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs Highlanders game. I think if you had fantasy players in both of these games, or in this game, sorry, most of these players scored some massive points. So Chiefs are playing some absolutely fantastic footy underneath the Highlanders' roof. So it was magic.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Fijian and Drua at home, mate, just like the 16th man with the crowd behind them is just absolutely immense. The Blues managed to get it done over there, but that's the Crusaders and the Hurricanes, two huge scalps that they've beaten this year at home. And they've got a few more home games, I think, to come as well. So it's just such an important thing for them.
I think that was actually, I think that was the biggest upset of the year, to be honest with you. Because that was I think the Canes were coming third at the time on the ladder.
Yeah, it was right up there. And I think the Crusaders, you're right, were probably a little bit weakened at the time, whereas the Hurricanes, I think, were pretty close to their full-strength unit as well.
Yeah, no, so, I thought it was the biggest upset. With the Crusaders, as you think, being back at home after a loss, you could bet your house on it and actually keep your wife happy at exactly the same time because you made a good punt. So it was Brodie McAllister who was he was the bloke that scored 3 tries for rolling maul. Could have been Cody Taylor, my man, but it was Brodie. And we touched on Will Jordan as well, who played 55 odd minutes. So I still think he's if you can get a trade for Will Jordan, do your best because I reckon he's worth it.
Good luck.
Mate, people like me being holding for 11 rounds, you got no hope at all. Look, let's push through. Blues versus Moana. They talked it up as the battle for Auckland, the only cross-city rivalry in Super Rugby, and I love that angle. I thought they played it up really well, and it turned into a cracker game as well, far better than what we saw last year. So that was phenomenal. You had the open side players, McWright versus Hooper, both having cracking games. I thought McWright may be the edge there. Gleeson versus Wilson. I probably gave the edge to Gleeson. Just his running game was so good.
Gleeson was good.
And what else you got? Akira Ioane back starting, and all of a sudden he's back to his best, right? Like just barnstorming runs left, right, and centre was an absolute weapon. Bobby V just as good, I think, for the Brumbies, and it was the opposite of what I expect from Bobby V. Like normally you see him kill it in the first half, and he kind of does go a bit quieter as the game goes on. But in this game, he just grew and grew and grew, and he was probably the most influential player on the field in the last 20 minutes, despite the heroics of Gordon and Alessio.
Yeah, mate, I definitely agree. Bobby V was in some serious form, and he is, mate. He's the Wallabies 6 or 8, depending on how things go.
Yeah,
but I'll take the last point from the round, mate. The Brums Rebels kind of touched on it anyway, but the last 5 minutes, how good were the Brums defence on the line? It was how many yellow cards did they get? 2 in the end?
No, they didn't actually get the second one because they scored it. Because they got away.
Yeah, it was. That's right. Yeah, so it was the repelled Elof. I don't know how many got held up, and he got penalised for a double movement as well. It's like, mate, what's going on, Cobblers?
Look, I mean, the thing is, we've actually seen this year a bit of a rejuvenation, bringing back the old quick tap plays rather than go for lineouts and scrums.
Why is that? Can you have an explanation?
I can explain to you, because if it's a scrum, you can lose the scrum. If it's a lineout, you can lose the lineout. You will not lose a tap. So if you're running it to the line. It's really good. But the thing is that we didn't see the Rebels do is there was no deception whatsoever. There was no variety. All they did was just take a tap and expect Elof to crawl along the ground illegally to get there. Like, there was just nothing else behind it. It seemed for them more that they're going, our set piece isn't enough, rather than when you watch Fiji and Drua do it, or Moana do it, or whoever else has been doing it, it's a tactic where they're really smartly planned for it, and this wasn't it.
I love that for the Brumbies. They clearly had a tactic, because Nick White did it in the first half as well, where he grabs the player and drags him over the line. It looked like they were trying to do the same thing to Caboose in that kind of play there as well. So it's a smart play. I agree there wasn't enough deception, but the Brumbies just very, very good.